G'day legends, how you going? Oh, going off here with Slymo. Been getting around on the bike today. Got my helmet and still might take it off. Right, well Slymo. Very noisy birds down here in the park. Hey legends, how you going? Slymo here. It's been a long time. Been a long time since I've done a Slymo's World video. Anyway, it's been kind of busy. Just come back from the dentist actually. Had an implant put in about a month ago. And we've got a dead car, we've got a Volvo that's decided to, we think, hit valves with the pistons. Probably going to have to spend a bit of money on that. Hopefully it's actually repairable economically. And work's been busy. Also been doing a bit of this stuff. And a bit of this stuff. And a bit of this stuff. Been doing a bit of this stuff. Been doing a bit of this stuff as well. Not to mention a bit of this stuff. However, I've got a special treat for you. I'm going to do some cooking with Slymo this afternoon. Cooking with Slymo. We're going to make some biltong, air-dried beef. It's so delicious. I'm addicted. Fantastic. So I'm going to make some of that. I just picked up a nice big piece of beef from the butcher today for my next batch. And coming up very shortly is the shirt giveaway. Finally, we're going to do the shirt giveaway. It's going to a new home. Worked out who that's going to be. I'll probably throw that in at the end of this video. Whew, that bin really stinks. Stinky park bin. Anyway, getting around on the bike, doing my errands and things today because we've got a fuel crisis here in Australia. It's April 2026. It's all going a bit pear-shaped. Anyway, doing my bit by riding the bike around, and it's kind of more fun anyway. I'd rather be riding the bike than driving a car. Well, g'day there, champions. How you going? Slymo's World, back again. Today, Slymo's World cooking. We're going to make my favourite vegan snack of all time with this lovely piece of silverside. Not corned, just uncorned silverside. I'm going to cut it into little bits with my small knife and mix it up with some stuff, some spices and things, and we're going to air dry it. It's going to be great. Okay, first job is to take some of the fat off this. It's a bit fatty. We're going to leave a little bit, but not too much. I like my biltong to be a little bit lean. Nice to leave a bit of fat on there. It's not too bad, this one. The first one I did was a Wagyu silverside, and it was really delicious actually, but it was quite fatty. There's actually not a lot there. There's a bit over here. Look at that. We're going to want to cut it along the grain, not across the grain like you would a steak, because you actually cut the bits off later, and then it gets cut across the grain when you slice the final product. So there's a bit of a join in this cut. It runs down here where the grain changes direction. We're just going to take that off. Like so. Nice sharp knife helps. One of the great things about making biltong is the meat's actually pretty cheap. Tidy that up a little bit. Oh, mind you, it's not too bad. I reckon that'll be all right. So we're making strips that are about 2 centimetres wide because it shrinks. And we're cutting along the grain. Like that. You want nice, even thickness strips of steak. Let's whip that bit of fat off. That's going to be really good. A little bit of silver skin here we'll get rid of. Just cut that bad boy out. That'll be a bit too chewy in the finished product. There we go. The trimmer ready. Right, back to the slicing. Oh, that's spectacular. Look at that. Look at that. Brilliant. So after we've done this, I'm going to trim up some of the little thin bits on the end. Like that kind of thin stuff you got there. It doesn't really dry very well, just kind of curls up. That's going to be my lunch. All the trimmings. You can always mince it too. Make sausages out of it, I guess. Nearly there. Yeah. We can get a little bit off that. Just tidy it up a bit though, so it's more even in thickness. That's a bit for lunch. Perfect. Now we've got the piece that we took off the other side. Oh. This one's a little bit trickier because it's long and narrow. So we'll get a few trimmings off that too, probably. See that? Nice even thickness. Even both sides, about 2 centimetres, 20 mil. I reckon we'll do that one. And then that's my lunch too. Okay, let's start doing some trimming. Take all these pointy bits off. They just don't dry very nicely, so kind of the end bits, because they're thin, they get too dry. There's a little bit of waste, but as I said, that's lunch. That's definitely got to come off. And that squiddly bit on the end, off. Squiddly? Did I say squiddly? Squiggly? I don't know. Okay, so that's the butchering done. Time to weigh it and see if we're going to do this in one batch or split it in two and do it in 2 batches. I think we'll probably split it. So in the past when I've done this, I've just split it into 2. 5 kilos won't really fit in my dehydrator. So I'm just weighing it to see what I've got. And probably just split it into 2 lots of about 2, it's probably about 2 kilos now because I've taken some of that off in the trimming. We'll see what we got. That's a good bit. Right, 2 kilos, pretty much. 2.1. That's close enough, I think. 2.1. So we've got a 2 kilo batch and a 2.1 kilo batch. Next thing we need to do is work out our ratio of spices. There's a website that I use for that. It seems to work pretty well. I'll put the link in the description. You can actually just punch in the amount of steak you got and it gives you the amount of salt, vinegar and spices to use. It's pretty good. It kind of goes off. And that's me lunch. Yum. Okie dokie. I've got my list of ingredients here and quantities, and for 2 kilograms of meat, I'm going to use 52 mils of apple cider vinegar, 26 mils of Worcester sauce. I need 45 grams of salt. This bad boy here, I might knock that up just a couple of grams. 15 grams of whole peppercorns, 30 grams of coriander seed, and 10 grams of chili flakes. Not sure if I'm going to do it. Did that last time. It wasn't bad. I also put a bit of cloves in it last time. Cloves can add a sort of extra dimension to it, but I don't know. Wasn't so convinced last time, so I'm going to leave that out. I might just leave it completely plain. Might just use the peppercorns and the coriander. Anyway, first thing is to get the coriander in a pan, dry pan, and toast it before we grind it up. Oh my goodness, that smells incredible. So I don't know if you can see in that, but still got the husks intact. You kind of want that. You don't want to grind it up too finely, but all the middle bits are all kind of pretty fine. That's what you want. Happy days. Peppercorns. 15 grams of peppercorns. I reckon that's a mug's game. I have tried toasting the pepper in the past. I think I like it better untoasted. Well, I thought I recorded toasting the coriander on the stove here. For some reason it didn't work, so we missed that. But anyway, it's all ground up. It's in here. I think I might do the peppercorns in this thing as well. Life's too short. Oh, that coriander smells incredible. Okay, our pepper is all ground up. Got no solid bits in there, I don't think. Add that to our coriander. And now we're way up. The salt, what do we got? 45 grams of salt. But I'm not going to put this in the spice mix. Put 50 in there, bit of salt, doesn't hurt. I'm not going to put it in the spice mix. I'm going to salt it after it's all in the tray. Okie dokie. So that's the salt. Get rid of these things. That's the salt, pepper, roasted coriander. Measure out the liquids now. Okay, we're going to measure out the liquids. We've got 52 mils of vinegar. .52 mils. Now, I tend to find the amount they state in the recipe is not really enough. So I'm happy to add a bit more of that later on if I need to. And we've got 26 mils of Worcester. That's it about there. Stick that back in the ridgy-dig. So we've got our liquids, we've got our empty packet. I'm going to keep that, might need that one, get rid of those. Now this is where the magic happens. Okay, paying attention. Meat. Put a layer of meat in here. That's one big piece of meat. Okay, so we'll do this in 2 layers. We're going to just sort of splash a bit of the vinegar on all of the pieces, like that, and then rub it over it, get it nicely covered. Spice mix. Don't know if you can see that. Probably. So spice mix, kind of, I guess a quarter of it is what goes on there now. That's probably about a quarter. Pat it down, get it all covered. Turn these bad boys over. Rinse and repeat. Vinegar. You can use other types of vinegar. I have done it with malt vinegar. And I have done it with just normal old white vinegar. Get that all coated up. Spice mix. Now I actually should have done the salt last time too, so I'll turn these back over. Spice mix, a bit more here. Just salt them up. They can stay up that way now. Now, you do sort of want to get an even covering, but in the end it all just, it all just turns into the same thing anyway. It all just liquidizes and gets delicious. But you want to give it a good start by covering it nicely. And this is a special marinating container, so I can actually turn this over a number of times over the next 24 hours. Okay, next layer. Meat. Yeah, 2 pieces. Geez, I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to those offcuts for lunch. Might make myself a steak sanger. That'd be pretty good. So the way this works, the vinegar kind of sterilizes and changes the pH of the meat. And the coriander, I forgot the salt again, talking. The coriander actually has a bit of a microbial effect to it, a microbial property, which helps the meat from going off as it's drying. You don't really want to have skanky meat. And to make proper biltong, it's actually air dried with no heat. Just do it at room temperature. That's the way to do it. And you're not cooking the meat, you're actually kind of cooking it by drying it. It'll take pretty big pieces, 4 or 5 days. I did try, the last batch I did actually add a little bit of heat to the dryer. I'll show you the dryer in a little while. Just to hurry it up a little bit, because it was quite humid when I did that lot. And I didn't want it to, like when the weather's really humid, it tends to take a while. I'm just going to give that a little bit more vinegar, just to be sure, because I don't mind a bit of vinegary biltong. It kind of works for me. Some people don't like too much vinegar, but I don't think it hurts. So you can see that meat's already changing colour. That'll do. So that sits in the fridge for a couple of hours. I tend to do it overnight. Just curing away, getting ready. And tomorrow we stick it on the hooks, stick it in the machine and let it dry. So the magic of this marinating box is you can do that. Flip it over. I'd love to tell you it's Tupperware, but I don't think it is, which is kind of surprising in this house. So that's going to go in the fridge. I'm going to flip that every couple of hours, not while I'm asleep, of course. And we'll be back here tomorrow, sticking it in the machine. Does that look chefy? I hope that looks chefy. That smells fantastic. A bit of XO sauce there. Yum. Yum. Well, thanks for watching. That's the end of episode 1 of In the Kitchen with Slymo, Slymo's World Cooking, Slymo's World Kitchen, something like that. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to tune in next time where we probably just do it all in one video. I'll hang up the the meat in the dryer, and then we'll fast forward to when it's all finished and we're slicing it and eating it. Delicious, delicious snack. The world's worst vegan snack. That's why it's so good. See you next time. Going off.
Slymo's world, come along for the ride. Adventure, laughter, where dreams collide. Lights up the